उसके सामने सारे एविडेंस रखे जा रहे हैं, उसका फैसला आने का इंतजार क्यों नहीं कर रहे लोग? कैसे कॉलेज में घुस फिर के प्रदर्शन हो रहे हैं, बंद दरवाजे के ऊपर से उछल करके कूद करके, और वहां कोई मतलब डेकोरम तो छोड़ दीजिए, कोई सिक्योरिटी जैसी कोई चीज भी नहीं है। ये सारी चीजें समझ के बाहर हैं। मैं इसको एक पूरे देश और समाज के स्तर पर भी का सवाल समझता हूँ कि क्या हमारे देश में, हमारे समाज में इसी तरह का काम होगा कि कोई मुकदमा चल रहा हो केस के बारे में, उसके फैसले का आप इंतजार मत कीजिए, पहले फैसला सुना दीजिए और खुद ही जज बन जाइए और खुद ही वकील बन जाइए, खुद ही सब कुछ कर दीजिए और लागू भी कर दीजिए। ये बहुत दर्दनाक सिचुएशन है, बहुत खतरनाक सिचुएशन है। और इसलिए मैं सबसे प्रार्थना करूंगा, अनुरोध करूंगा कि हम मीडिया की बहुत रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं और जुडिशियरी का तो और भी ज्यादा करते हैं। हम सब लोगों को चाहिए कि हम लोग बड़े इत्मीनान के साथ जो है केस, उसका फैसला आने दें। एक्स्ट्रा जुडिशियल जो एक तरह से प्रोसिक्यूशन कह लीजिए या बदनाम करने की कोशिश है, वो संस्था को ही बदनाम कर देगी। इंडिविजुअल तो आते जाते रहेंगे, लेकिन एक बार एक संस्था बदनाम होती है जिसका 100 साल से ज्यादा एक बहुत अच्छा रेपुटेशन रहा है, और जिसको CF एंड्रूज जैसे लोगों ने उस जमाने में, गांधी जी जाते थे इस संस्था में, स्वामी श्रद्धानंद जी आए थे गुरुकुल कांगड़ी के जो स्थापना करने वाले इस संस्थान में। तो ऐसे ऐसे लोग जो उस जमाने से, आजादी के लड़ाई के दौरान से, और ये संस्था का एक विशेष नाम रहा है। और आज वास्तविक तरीके से, सही तरीके से वाल्सन थम्पू जी ने इसको, जो हमारे समाज के ज्यादा डिजर्विंग लोग हैं लेकिन जिनको अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिल पाती इस तरह के प्रेस्टिजियस यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ने का, तो ऐसे लोगों को वो मौका दे रहे हैं। इससे लोगों का नाराज होना स्वाभाविक है, मैं समझ सकता हूँ क्यों उनको तकलीफ हो रही है, लेकिन वही तो काम है हमारा और आपका सबका। यही तो हमें देश को आगे ले जाएगा। अम्बेडकर के सोशल जस्टिस के, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के सोशल जस्टिस के एजेंडा को यही तो आगे ले जाएगा। होना तो यही चाहिए था। माइनॉरिटी इंस्टीट्यूशन की बात कही मेरे दोस्त कमाल फारूकी जी ने। मैं तो समझता हूँ कोई भी रिलीजन, यदि किसी भी चीज का रिलीजन नाम की कोई चीज है तो उसकी पहली कमिटमेंट सोशल जस्टिस की होनी चाहिए। मुझे आप देखते हैं, मैं दिखता हूँ रिलीजियस, लेकिन आप कभी मुझे किसी मंदिर, मस्जिद, गुरुद्वारे, चर्च में नहीं पाएंगे, कोई रिलीजियस रिचुअल परफॉर्म करते हुए नहीं पाएंगे। मेरी सारी जिंदगी उन गरीब बेजुबानों की लड़ाई लड़ने के लिए है, और वो चाहे हिंदू हो, मुस्लिम हो, क्रिश्चियन हो, सिख हो, कोई भी हो, मानवता की लड़ाई। और इसी उद्देश्य को, इसी मिशन को लेकर के और वाल्सन थम्पू जी काम कर रहे हैं। हमें तो गर्व होना चाहिए था इनके ऊपर, और जो रुकावटें हों या कुछ छोटे छोटे कारण उनको दूर करने में इनकी मदद करनी चाहिए थी। उल्टा इनको एक हाउंडिंग जिसको कहते हैं, शिकारी कुत्तों की तरह से छोड़ दिया, इनके ऊपर टूट पड़ो भाई और इनको बर्बाद कर दो, खत्म कर दो। ये चीजें नहीं होनी चाहिए। मैं बड़ी विनम्रता से यही कहूँगा कि आज हमें बहुत शांति से, गंभीरता से इन चीज़ों को संभल करके आगे ले जाने की जरूरत है। और जहाँ तक ताल्लुक है कि ये रहें या ना रहें प्रिंसिपल, मैं समझता हूँ जो अदालत का फैसला हो, अदालत यदि कहती है कि ये गलत किया इन्होंने, तो ये जुडिशरी को पूरा रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हैं और वो फैसला आने दिया जाए। और वो कहने के बाद भी यदि ये जबरदस्ती रहते हैं या कोई माइनॉरिटी इंस्टीट्यूशन का सहारा लेने की कोशिश करते हैं, उस समय हमारे जैसे लोग कहेंगे कि नहीं, अदालत का फैसला आपके खिलाफ आया है, आपको स्वीकार करना चाहिए, सिरोधारी करना चाहिए और फिर आगे का कोई और रास्ता ढूंढना चाहिए। मेरा इतना ही कहना था आज, और मैं समझता हूँ कि वाल्सन थम्पू जी इससे आगे अपनी बात कहें।
Is it all right if I stand so that I can see all of them better? Because for me, seeing your faces is so important. Because the greatest happiness in my life is being with people. Being able to look a person in the face. Being able to meet an eye. To share my heart with somebody is the greatest joy in my life. Huh? Do you think I should sit and... Yeah, then I won't be able to see certain faces. Each one of you is extremely important for me. And therefore when I speak, I want to be able to see your faces. That's why I thought I would stand. Anyway, first of all, I want to thank each one of you for coming together today. This assembly far exceeds my rosiest expectation, and I take this as an unambiguous statement about your love and respect for St. Stephen's College. And as a servant of the college, I want to thank you from the fullness of my heart for the importance, the significance you attach to this institution, and I assure you it richly deserves it. The greatest privilege in my life has been being associated with St. Stephen's College for about 44 rich, joyful, proud years. So we are one. We are not separated in two blocks. We are one in standing by this institution in an hour of crisis which has been manufactured and imposed on the institution. I have no complaint, ladies and gentlemen. I am full of happiness. I am full of gratitude because the whole country recognizes St. Stephen's College. In the recent India Today Nielsen survey, St. Stephen's College was rated number 1 in the country among 36,000 colleges, both in humanities and in sciences. This is an achievement unrivaled. And of course, all of you will be interested in knowing how this has happened. In 2007, when I was called upon, at that time I was working as a member, founding member of the National Commission for Minority Educational Institutions. The college was plunged into a deep crisis, and I was called upon halfway through my tenure at the National Commission to come and take over the college. At that time, the college was not among the top 5 institutions either in humanities or in sciences. It was not in the list at all. You can check the facts. From there, through hard work, it has become possible for me, with the help of my colleagues and the goodwill of all of you, to take this institution to the absolute dizzy pinnacle of academic achievement. But then that's not all. As my most beloved Swamiji said, there was a myth, there was a dogma in this country that social justice and pursuit of excellence in higher education are contrary to each other. That is to say, if you bring social justice into higher education, then standards will collapse. This was the dogma. And I set myself after questioning and disproving this dogma. And I have now proved beyond any doubt that social justice and pursuit of excellence are not only harmonious, but that they are necessary. And they must work together. Now let me give you an example. The richest scholarship, St. Stephen's College awards, is worth about 35 lakhs per annum. It's not scholarship of the college, it is instituted by an old student. told Mr. Govindi. This scholarship enables a student to go to Brown University for a year, all expenses paid. In the last 2 years, who were the recipients of this most prestigious scholarships? There were children who came from villages. It's a success story. It's an exciting success story. A thing like this could not have imagined happening in St. Stephen's College 10 years ago, not 50 years ago, 10 years ago. Miracles are happening in St. Stephen's College. Who was the Students' Union President of St. Stephen's College last year? The son of a Mali, a gardener. 10 years ago, this would have been unthinkable. Now, you ask yourself, what kind of society do you want to build? Everybody knows that education is an exercise in social engineering. That is to say, what kind of society you want tomorrow, you decide through education today. A great revolution is taking place in St. Stephen's College. This may not be to the liking of a handful of people. They do not belong to you, they don't belong to me. They are not even 20 people, I am telling you, out of this 1.25 billion people, they are not even 20 people, I feel sure of that. Yet, an impression is being created that they are the conscience keepers of this nation and that they will have the birthright to decide the destiny of St. Stephen's College. If they order that the principal should stand, he should stand. The principal should crawl, he should crawl. The principal should cut all corners for their sake, he must do it. I'm afraid that is not good for the society. All of us, you see, the mark of a healthy society is that every citizen must have the freedom to express his personality, his conscience, his value system, his character through the work he does. If I am to be everybody's slave, then why should I be a principal? This is the problem I have faced. Everybody expects me to crawl on all four legs in front of them. If I don't, I am their enemy. Now you cannot have that kind of a system or arrangement in a democratic society. I don't interfere with anybody's work. A self-styled rump of people, not more than 4, pretend to be the Old Boys Association, the Alumni Association. They will dictate to me whether I should appoint X, Y, or Z, whether I should admit this boy or that boy, whether I should turn to the left or turn to the right. If I don't obey their orders, they will crack the whip. Now you tell me, is this a civilized society? Is this a system that can be countenanced even for a moment? It has gone on for 8 years. It is said repeatedly that ever since Rev Valson Thampu took over the college is in the news for the wrong reasons. What are these wrong reasons? Nobody has ever told me. I am told that the college is always embroiled in controversies. What are these controversies? Have you ever examined? Has there been any substance to any of these controversies? How have these controversies gone on and on and on for 8 years without ever anyone asking the question, what are these controversies? What is the truth about any of these controversies? Isn't it strange? It is like in a nightmare. This is not the world of reality. Therefore, my friend, I am not here to defend myself. I have never defended myself. I am a priest. My vindication must come from God and God alone. Every day in the evening, I sit down quietly and I settle my account with my Maker. Before I get out of my room in the morning, I pray, God, give me the humility and the wisdom a heart full of love this day to do my work right. It is my claim before the Almighty that I have carried out my duties as the principal of St. Stephen's College to my utmost without fear or favor. But the problem is, our society is organized through quid pro quo. When I came back to St. Stephen's College on the 22nd of May 2007, I was given a piece of important advice. The advice was, khao aur khane do. Our beloved Prime Minister says, na khaunga, na khane dunga. But I was told, if you want to survive, khao aur khane do. मैंने कहा ना खाऊंगा ना खाने दूंगा. That is also playing in all this. I believe that the greatest achievement in my life is that I have been able to run a completely corruption-free administration for 8 years. As a member of the National Minorities Commission, I had the opportunity to travel to the length and breadth of this country and study the educational sector very closely. And I can tell you, if you know the extent of corruption that exists in the educational sphere, you will faint. That taught me the lesson that the greatest patriotism that I can exemplify is to prove that it is possible to run a 100% clean educational administration in this country. I set myself after that goal, and today it is my claim, by the grace of God, I have achieved it. Now, Swamiji made a reference to a case. The matter is sub judice. I really do not want to add anything more to it, but if you have questions to answer, or questions to ask, I shall be happy to answer. One final thing before I close, and that is, as members of the media fraternity, you are a stakeholder in the continued life, struggle and witness of St. Stephen's College. For God's sake, do not think of yourself as adversaries to the college. You are not. You are part of St. Stephen's College because this college is singularly dedicated to the service of the nation, particularly the poor and the downtrodden. St. Stephen's College captures within itself the incredible and unending diversity of India. Social, economic, regional, religious, linguistic, class, caste, whatever. Come and see for yourself. It's a beautiful miniature of India. It's your college. Love this institution because another St. Stephen's College will not come into existence for the next 100 years. In 2007, 5 very rich alumni of the college, out of competition with St. Stephen's College, came together and decided to start a rival institution. They overnight collected 100 crores and they began to discuss. Within 3 days, they came to the conclusion that money cannot create a St. Stephen's College. They abandoned the project. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a national treasure. Let us not vandalize it. It's your treasure. Please take good care of it. I'm sure you will. Thank you.
We are open to the question if you have.
I have a question. Why is that you're not ready to disclose the names of the people you think you've been telling that they're involved in this case of pushing you to parity crime? What would you want to say about it? Why is that you're not ready?
Thank you. You see, I'm an author. Writing is my main happiness. And one of the things that an author knows is not to state the obvious. Everybody knows who they are. There is no need to name them. Ask the Brahmacharis of St. Stephen's College, they will tell you. Why should I tell you?
It will become officially or unofficially?
Pardon?
It will be exposed in officially or unofficially?
The reason why I asked for a CBI inquiry is exactly this, that it's only when a thorough, comprehensive, unprejudiced inquiry is conducted will these hidden hands be revealed. I want everything to be revealed. Why are we scared of the truth? St. Stephen's College is not afraid of truth. Alright? So, I repeat, St. Stephen's College would welcome a CBI inquiry into all aspects of this case, because I am completely committed to procuring justice for this young girl. I am so sad about her plight, but she will not get justice from the hands of those who have taken her hostage. That's another question.
Yes,
So there are some statements made in press right now that suggest that when you feel that you're being attached because it's being attached to the minority institute, is that what you're saying?
See, the status of the college has been contested for a long time. I don't know if you know the history of this. There was a case in Delhi High Court which was settled in 1984. A petition was filed saying that St. Stephen's College is not a minority institution. The matter went up to, this was in connection with admission procedure.
It's a historical judgment.
Yeah. The matter went up to the Supreme Court of India, and in a landmark judgment of 1992, it is titled St. Stephen's College versus University of Delhi and others. The Honorable Apex Court emphatically said that St. Stephen's College is a minority education institution. Now, as all of you know, and this is the area of my expertise, having worked with the National Commission, all of you know that institutions covered under Article 30 sub Article 1 enjoy certain constitutional rights. These are rights, these are not items of charity. And the landmark judgment of 2002, which is called TMFI Foundation versus the State of Karnataka, the 11 judges bench spelled out the ingredients of the right to administer. There are 5 facets to right to administer. One is the right to admit students from your community preferentially up to 50%. Second is the right to appoint teachers from your community provided that they meet the minimum eligibility requirement. Third is the right to initiate disciplinary proceedings and action against employees. Fourth is the right to constitute your own governing body. Fifth is the right to create a reasonable fee structure, which doesn't apply to us because we are affiliated to Delhi University and we are funded by the UGC. Now, the interesting thing is that whenever St. Stephen's College exercises its minority rights, we come under attack. I'm only observing a fact. For example, when St. Stephen's College created a policy which allowed up to 50%, which is purely within the ambit of law, of Christian students, there was a huge attack on college. Just a few months ago, when St. Stephen's College appointed 7 Christian teachers, there was another earthquake. There were 81 teachers in St. Stephen's College. Even after appointing these 7 Christian teachers, there are only 11 Christian teachers out of 81. And that is considered communal. The college is only exercising its constitutional rights. I don't think there is any society anywhere in the world where people are attacked for exercising their rights. Now you look into the academic credentials of the 7 teachers appointed and find out for yourself whether they are not the top-notch candidates in the field. After all, selection was conducted by a board of 9 people, which also had the representative of Delhi University. There were professors from other universities. There were old boys in the board. And all selections were unanimous. There was not a single dissenting note in any. And yet it is considered to be communal. Now, you have to come to your own conclusion whether this concocted, contrived hostility to St. Stephen's College has anything to do with its minority status. I don't want to come to a judgment. But I want to say one thing, and that is, somehow there is a certain negative mentality. If an institution is doing very well, it is not liked. I'm sure you realize it. A mediocre institution will never be attacked. That's why I said at the beginning itself, that the very fact that all of you have come together means, the very fact that for 8 years there was the sustained orchestrated attack on St. Stephen's College means that this is the foremost institution in the country. Right? Now I think we need to change our attitude. Rather than feel unhappy about an institution doing well, we should feel proud of it. It's our institution. It's serving our country, serving our children. So I think I would like to believe that it has nothing to do with the minority status of the college. I would also like to believe that we will emerge from this negative mentality and that we will be morally free to celebrate the great things that are happening in our midst, rather than sitting and crying about all the rotten things. It's very interesting that the media, I say this with great respect to all of you, the media projects all the aberrations in the society, right? Why can't we now also once in a while project and celebrate the great things that are happening? Wonderful things are happening. You come to St. Stephen's College and see for yourself. Wonderful things are happening. I'll give you a small example. About 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I opened a course for the citizens of Delhi. 320 students, in the age group of 18 to 82 are coming together every Saturday afternoon and sitting and studying for 2.5 hours. This is unique in the country. It doesn't happen anywhere else. St. Stephen's College is showing the way. We have 36,000 colleges, and if each college adopts 300 citizens, we will be educating about 1.2 million people without 1 rupee expense from the national exchequer. Now, things like this are never talked about. St. Stephen's College is promoting research. Research projects are going on. 2 years ago, I founded the St. Stephen's College Center for Theoretical Physics. Last year, I founded the St. Stephen's Center for Economic Studies. These things never happened in St. Stephen's College. These things are not happening in many other colleges. Nobody has, unfortunately, the eyes to see the good things that are happening. Let us now claim the moral freedom to open our eyes and to see that the grass is green still. Let's have the freedom to say that the sun still rises in the east. Let us say that life is good. It's not only, what is that electronic company? LG. LG advertisement, right? Let's also say life is good. And I want all of you to join us in saying life is good.
Sir, recently the Ministry of HRD has asked the FGC to supervise the investigation that is going on by the internal
Yes.
Don't you think as a minority institution it has the right to establish and administer its own affairs? This is an interference by the government of India to FGC into the affairs sector.
Not at all. Even before this matter came to me in writing, I was at that time doing a program for India Today television. From their studio, I read the news that the ministry has taken this step. I said this is marvelous and I wholeheartedly welcome this. The reason is this. St. Stephen's College is a minority